Doing something like this is emotional to me because of the experiences I've had. That I feel very fortunate to be sitting here talking to you. Life before Vietnam, to me, was, I had no complaints. I had a good family, my mom and dad, I knew they loved me. I was involved in sports and athletics and hunting and fishing. I mean, I couldn't take you anywhere, I don't think, out in the woods and say exactly where I am or what I'm doing. But I had a good reason to volunteer to go to Vietnam. I knew that I'd have to have a war under my belt if I was going to retire. And my plan was to spend 40 years in the military. No, but after Vietnam, there was no way they could get me to stay in. I was in 101st Airborne, 326th Combat Engineers. Our job in Vietnam was jack of all trades and a master of none. Trust me, we did everything. From repelling and to recover pilots that might have been shot down, or recover the bodies. Medevacs have been shot down, recovering the bodies. We also had to do police call around the fire base to get any dud grenades. We had to take the dud 105, 155s, and 175s, and the mortars that never went off, and blow it up. By the time we got done there, I had a hole that probably 5 Deuce-and-a-halfs would sit in. So it was a little bit, it was puckering, that's all I'll say, experience. If I had to put a number on all the close calls that I had in Vietnam, it would probably be 4 or 5, I'd say. 4 or 5 that really stick out to me. One mine sweep off of Firebase Rakkasan. Well, that day was my day to mine sweep, okay, to use a metal detector. And I turn around, and here's this grenade skipping by every one of my men and coming right for me and Carl D'Angelo. He was my prober. So I grabbed him like this. That thing skips over the hill and hit a tree and exploded. Thank goodness those rounds had to go 35 revolutions before they would arm themselves. What do you think I was thinking? You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking, well, here we go, I'm gone. That was a hell of an explosion. But it was just a stupid, typical stupid mistakes I experienced the next 12 months. Stupidity, One of the most scariest times I've ever had in Vietnam was on an extraction of medevac that went in and they got shot down. 8 bodies would need to be recovered. And we went in, and of course, supposed to make it LZ. Well, we dropped this huge tree across the LZ, so we had to go out on ropes. A rope ladder is not like a ladder that's stationary. You're like this. You are just like this climbing, and you have no safety strap or no nothing. And once you get on the ladder, that helicopter goes zip 3,000 feet so they don't get shot at from small arms fire. I'm telling you what, I am so scared. Because I knew I didn't have anywhere to go but down. I got in that helicopter. I thought I was going to be thrown out just because of the way he was going down this valley. I thought I was going to fall out. I was grabbing on anything I could. I was so scared. More so than whenever I was shot at or mortared, trust me. I thought I was a goner. I think the value of life, when it comes to war, you forget all about the value of what life has. And so I'm looking out for Pete, I'm looking out for Roy, I'm looking out for Ed, they're looking out for me. It never was about the BC or the NDA, I'll tell you that right now. When we got in trouble, it was about protecting each other's butt and doing the job that we were taught how to do and do it right. And that's what we did. I was trying to survive and keep my buddies alive. You know, I was in charge of these guys. They were my responsibility. And the thing that bothered me the most and the thing that you had to stop was fear. Fear is like a contagious disease that could spread so easily. If you didn't put a stop to that, you're in trouble. I went there July 70 and came back July 71. The Freedom Bird getting up off the ground. All you could hear was a big old cheer, everybody on the plane cheering. But you knew you were safe once you got into that air and away from the ground. Life after Vietnam was pure hell for me when I first came back, because I didn't know what was wrong with me. And I was an adrenaline rush junkie. I chased the adrenaline rush, and I could not find anything that was like getting shot at or bombed on, mortared, rocketed, you know? My family didn't understand me. My wife didn't understand me. I didn't understand me. I had night sweats, wet night sweats, sopping wet. I'd have to get up, put a towel down so I could lay down and not be wet, and then throw the covers off of me. Those didn't stop until 1999, when I became a Christian. Like a lot of people's lives, a lot of veterans' lives, it's crazy. My life was crazy when I came home from Vietnam. But once I met the Lord, it changed my whole aspect. My perspective, my attitude changed, everything. So I'm a completely different person today. This book, and the meaning it has for me, is it's life. It's taught me how to live my life the way God would want me to, and I would not have the things I have today. Let us not love with words or tongue, but with action and in truth. This, then, is how we know that we belong to the truth, and how He sets our hearts at rest in His presence whenever our hearts condemn us. This is an important book, trust me. Anybody avoids reading this I think they're missing the boat. They're missing they're missing life. I just became a Christian in 1995 on Mother's Day, going through PTSD classes and stuff like that, and becoming a Christian, walking a walk. And I'd heard about these guys, Vets with a Mission, on a couple different radio programs, and I thought, man, that'd be kind of a cool group to get involved with. They're building medical clinics in Vietnam. And I thought that's a good thing to do. And so in 1999, I got a hold of them, and I said, I just became a Christian. I'd like to go over and be a part of what you guys are doing, see if I can't get some healing. Going back was such a healing, for me, it was so healing because my nightmare stopped, my attitude was different, my perspective was different. Working at a medical clinic and being able to see the people that we'd be trying to help and how poor they were. And at this time, I was really making a difference instead of blowing stuff up and destroying things. I was there making a difference in these people's lives. Once I left, I knew that this medical clinic would do wonders for these people. Well, I didn't know that I had that. Airborne, my Airborne class book. I just found what I've been looking for, and I thought I lost it. Here's my Bronze Star write-up and my Army Commendation Medal write-up. And I thought I lost them. By direction of the President, the Bronze Star Medal is presented to Sergeant Stephen M. Bergseng, United States Army, who distinguished himself by outstandingly meritorious service in connection with military operations against a hostile force in the Republic of Vietnam during the period of July 70 to July 71. You know, it brings back a lot of memories, is what it does. I just had a shot of about 20 memories reading that. I am so glad I found that though, dang it. Here's a poem that you want me to read. My mind flashes back to the tunnel of time, lost in my thoughts over the death of a friend. My heart interweaves with my soul and his spirit. A friend, one with destiny, potential, dies and leaves me lonely. A vague celebration causing displaced families, friends, and fragile lives is merely a false reflection of that greater destiny, my deepest sorrow, death and dying. Tear-stained eyes, appropriate for a once carefree spirit who knew only friendship, happiness, and family ties. My ever-changing moods, thoughts of my friend, cause anger and a fire in my mind. Now I'm certain death is damn unkind. I struggle to be, but am so uncertain of the importance of me. As this moment of time and space, I find death is just a fragmentation that I believe in face. I'm skeptical and encouraged to inquiry. And somewhere in this vast silence of this jungle, in my own life, there's a hint of the beginning of my own death and dying. So I wait tonight, for some good reason, to believe tomorrow will be more gracious in this cold and indifferent war that awaits me in the twilight of dawn. Kind of tough to get through, but I'm sorry. And there's only combat soldiers, I think, that would understand. I feel like I left part of me in Vietnam. Vietnam will never be out of my head, ever. It's there. I can't go a day without something reminding me of Vietnam. Whenever in Vietnam, I told God to go his way, I'd go my way. Why did he save me? He could have done me in right then. I can't believe that you really exist because all the crap I'm seeing here is stupid. Well, you know what? You had mercy. At 72, and the life I've lived, and the life I've been able to live the last 37 years having a spinal cord injury, I'm very thankful to the Lord. I can't get down on anything that's happened to me now or what I'm going through because I'm not in control. God is. And once I got that in my head that he's in control and not me, my whole life changed.